yes, let's make sure you click. Oh, yes, and then you. Yes. Okay, let's resume.
Hi guys, DeeSims here and welcome back to the channel. And today I bring to you probably one of my biggest builds I've ever done on the channel. Like, this is the biggest build ever. I have over 17 hours of footage on this one freaking build, and it is massive. But today we're going to be decorating the summer vet program for Barbie Legacy Challenge Generation 3. I've had so many comments talk about, where is Barbie? Where is the Legacy Challenge? Where is Blaire? Like, what is going on? And y'all, it's been so much happening in my life right now. If you don't know, I am currently moving. I'm literally move in less than 7 days. Wait, is it 7 days? We move in 7 days. Literally in 1 week, we will be moving. So I've been packing up my entire, we've been packing up our entire apartment. Like, we've lived in this apartment for about 2.5 years. So there's just so much stuff. And y'all, on top of all of that, just like so much stuff has been going on. We had a new pack come out, so I had to do new early access content. And of course we're moving, so still trying to like plan out all of the packing and just like getting everything you have to do when you're moving house. If you've moved house before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it has just been so stressful. I can't even sugarcoat it. I have not been this stressed and overwhelmed and so freaking long. On top of that, I'm still like actively making content. Like, I didn't like take a break or anything, so I'm like getting content out for you guys. I'm getting early access content out. So between all of this, I've had CFE access for businesses and hobbies, which means you get like early access to play. Plus, on top of that, like early access before the pack comes out with all of the packs, and just doing stuff for that on top of packing and trying to maintain somewhat of a social life, and then just really like focusing on making our new space a home. Because if you know anything about me, my environment plays a huge part in like my mental health. So like really trying to focus on making our new spot a home. And I have just been exhausted. Like, I've been so tired. But I know it's worth it, because I know how important it is to like really invest in your space and invest not just money, but just like time and energy into like what you want things to look like and how you want your home to feel. So one thing I learned about myself, as I do work from home, as YouTube, Twitch, and content creation is my full-time job, my environment means so much to me. So if my environment is messed up, like, I'm messed up. I think it goes back to like that old saying, like, your house is a sanctuary. And like, if you don't have peace in your home, girl, that is literally like objective number one. Like, get your home in order. It is so serious. It is so real. As you get older, you realize how important that kind of stuff is. Maybe if you don't look at it like that, maybe, it's not a priority yet, but I promise you, one point in life it will be. But guys, I've been like in the moving trenches. It's been rough. It's been so rough. I know it's only temporary, but I've been going hard, y'all. Like, between content and trying to get the packing and the moving and stuff together, it's been rough. Like, your girl has been, this is probably the most overwhelmed I've been. It's probably ever in the history of me like doing like my YouTube channel on top of like home life. I mean, other than the time I was like sick and hospitalized, but girl, it's been a little rough. But speaking of that, me and Lee Daniel again are moving in literally 7 days. And we have a housewarming registry, and we're doing a virtual housewarming for family and friends. And of course, y'all know in the club, we all fam. I'm sorry. Gotta stop saying that in these videos, but y'all, it got hold over me. I don't even know. I have created this housewarming registry. So many people in the Twitch streams and just like in the Discord and stuff has asked, like, how can I support you? How can we help you in this time? I think a lot of people have also noticed that your girl been stressed and overwhelmed. So people have asked how they can help and contribute, and we made a housewarming registry. I'm going to link it in the description down below. So if you guys want to like take a look at it and, you know, help your girl out, literally anything would help. I would truly appreciate it. Like, this new space that we're moving into is more of a home. It is our townhome. I've never lived in a house. Like, my aunt had a house, but like I have never resided in a house as my own. So this is like my first time ever. I've lived in apartments my entire life, and it is a huge transition. It's a huge transition, and with my puppy, with Chai, it is a huge transition. And yes, I know you guys are gonna ask, because they went crazy in Discord when I put up the housewarming registry and Chai didn't have a little corner, but we did add in a little Chai's tab in the registry for some little doggy items and things like that. But if you guys would love to support me in any way, if you're ever looking to support me in any way, right now I am humbly asking for anything on that housewarming registry, because girl, it is hard. I think this whole process have also like taught me that if you need help, this is when you ask for it. And if you're not a person who can ask for help easily, I know that struggle as well. I grew up with that mindset of like not really asking others for help, and it has hindered me in the past. So this time I am like leaning on my friends. I am trying to delegate. I am trying to prioritize, and I am asking for help. So, you know, like that. We just gonna go with it like that. But I'm not talking much about this build. But girl, when do we talk about the build in the build video? When do we do that? No, but this is the new summer vet program for Generation 3 of the Barbie Legacy Challenge. Super excited about this. I know people are looking for this series and trying to figure out where it's at. I have been working tirelessly with Tasha Monet, and she is making a mod specifically for Generation 3. The first half of Generation 3 is going to take place here at this summer camp. Blair is literally has been accepted into this exclusive top of the line vet program that's going to be run by the one and only Baby Derek from Single Father, our Single Father Legacy from Fresh Prince of Derek. If you remember that playthrough, you know that Baby Derek opened a like luxury 5-star vet clinic, and now to reincorporate him back into the channel, something that I have always done is bring my Sims back. He is going to be running this new vet program, and it is very expensive. It's very exclusive. It is like a lot of hard work, and you got to put your work in to get into this program. So Blair is going to be in this program. She's going to be learning from the best, getting all of her knowledge and everything. So when it is time for her to open her vet clinic, it will literally be by the best. She would have learned from the best in the business to perfect her skills and crafts and all that good stuff. Super excited about this mod. I spent so much time working on the actual like school building, because how this is going to work is that there's going to be 5 teen Sims living on this lot. This lot will be a residential lot. It's not going to be a residential rental. I've had questions about that because I'm technically making like dorm houses. They're getting their own townhouses, like dorms. There's 5 dorms on this lot, and then of course the school building. So this is in Del Sol Valley. I think this is the 50 by 40. I didn't want to go a 64 by 64 because the last one I did was the high school, and it was a task. I honestly feel like this may be harder than the high school. I don't know. I never thought I would say that, because that high school is still one of my biggest builds. I can't tell which one is bigger. Y'all got to let me know in the comments down below which one y'all think is bigger. But yes, there are going to be 5 teen Sims living on this lot. And then Baby Derek will be an NPC teacher. He will be coming here like every morning between like 9 to 5 p.m. and he will be teaching lessons. They will have coursework and papers and assignments and all that kind of stuff, on top of them being teenagers and living alone for the first time and just experiencing all of that in one time. So it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited about this. I'm happy that we're putting our own spin on things. I know it's taking a little minute, but I promise you it's going to be worth the wait. Tasha is really doing her big one. Like, she is so talented. So we're going to be patient, but I'm pretty sure we're near starting this series very, very soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Right now we are starting the school. So I could not put the school, me building the school in this video, because this video would have been over an hour and 30 minutes long. So I just had to just show you a quick little screenshot of how it looks, and then I'm just showing you the decoration. The rest of this video is literally the school building. That should tell you how this is going. So you kind of got to look at how the campus looks. It is 5 townhomes, and then you have this huge school building. Right now we are making the lobby. So this is kind of like the first thing you see when you come into the building. There's elevators on either side of the building. It is a vet school, so you're gonna see a lot of vet stuff and things like that. And I honestly loved how this turned out. Majority of this build was built on stream. I did finish the big things off stream, and this probably went to a lot of my stress because I did this before businesses and hobbies came out. So I did this before all of it. I had to finish it before because I needed it to be done before the pack in case anything like broke or anything like that. So I finished a 17-hour build. Oh my gosh, it was crazy, y'all. It was a time. It was a time. Absolutely love how this building came out. So one big factor that we wanted with this was that we wanted it to reflect Baby Derek's style. So if you watch Fresh Prince of Derek, you know Baby Derek has a very like upscale, sophisticated style. And I wanted to bring that plus the luxury feel. Like these kids are paying like $60,000, $75,000 to come to this summer program. So it has to be worth it, you know? For $75,000 for a summer, you're getting your own furnished townhouse. Everything's included. All your food, health care, all that kind of stuff is literally included. Like literally room and board, everything you could think of is included. On top of that, you're learning from the best in the business. And of course, that one-on-one time with Baby Derek to get all these skills. So by the time you finish this summer program, you have all the knowledge that someone who studied veterinary medicine for 8 years would have in an entire summer. So it is very, very fast paced, and it's going to be amazing. Like Tasha is adding so much stuff. It's going to be so freaking good. And I know it's taking a little bit longer than expected, but I promise it's going to be worth the wait. I promise you. But in this, I honestly feel like this school, so we named this J.A.V.E or J.A.V.E. I still don't know how we're pronouncing it. We came up with it in chat. It's J.A.V.E, and it stands for James Academy of Veterinary Excellence. That's the name of this program. So I wanted it to reflect heavy on Baby Derek and like what he stands for and what he loves and his style, on top of the requirements we needed for Generation 3 of Barbie Legacy. So the plan is Blaire will come here and get all of her education and knowledge and everything like that. So when she becomes a young adult and she is ready to open her own vet clinic, she's already going to have all of the knowledge. Her next challenge will be building clientele and things like that. But the first part of Generation 3 is definitely going to be about that knowledge and education of being a vet, but also her as a teenager. And maybe she makes some mistakes. Maybe she goes down a wrong path or something like that. But we get to see all of it. We get to also learn Blaire. If you haven't watched Blaire's childhood, which were the 6 live streams we had on Twitch, where Blaire basically like grew up before our eyes, this will definitely give you the introduction to that. So a lot of us know Blaire, and we know what she loves, and we know that she's rebellious, and we know that she is bad, and we know that she is just like she does not value. Now, I'm not going to say she doesn't value money, but money is not important to her, as her mother has made it. So Bella Eve has made it, you know, her life mission literally was to make money and be about money. Her daughter doesn't care about that. And I think that's hilarious. But no, Generation 3 is going to be so much fun. And honestly, I feel like it's things like this that makes me continue Barbie Legacy, because I've started a lot of LPs here, and I've started a couple of challenges, and they don't have a good track record on my channel because I don't like a whole bunch of repetition. But I feel like when we're able to put our own storyline on things, and we're able to do things like this, like we're literally able to get a mod, like have a mod created specifically just for this, and like put our own spin on it and add our own twist and storyline. This is what keeps me invested. And I know what keeps you invested. And I just love that. So yes. A huge part of the education process is like these little panel debates that Tasha's come up with using the university debate things. They basically have like, they're like case studies, and they talk about the case studies and they go back and forth with their classmates. Like I said, Tasha's doing her big one. Okay. She is doing amazing with creating this mod. So yes, as you can tell, like orange and black is definitely the theme of the school. I just love for a long time, I was not a fan of the brassy orange or like the copper, but it just suits this so well. We're using those countertops from Life and Death and some CC chairs that literally just matched perfectly. And you're going to see this color palette throughout the entire build. Now, one of the biggest things about this build, or one of the biggest things that I wanted to pay a lot of attention on, was the lab and the clinical areas. So there's going to be different parts of the curriculum where Blaire is going to have to work in the lab to get up. She's going to have a lab skill requirement. You know, she's going to have to be required to do lab work. There's going to be a clinical requirement where you're required to like practice in a clinical and then practice with baby Derek and things like that. Like I said, they have papers and assignments and all kinds of just different tasks and homework assignments to gain the skill. Like I said, it's going to be a rigorous summer. So as much as we're like, oh yeah, Blaire's gonna party and have fun, it's going to be very important that she pays attention to her studies and stay on top of things. So I wanted the lab and the clinical area to be a huge part of this build. So while everything down here looks very nice and very upscale and everything like that, I wanted the lab and the clinicals to be like, but this is the business, you know, like get to it. Come in here, do your part. So you're going to see a drastic change when it comes to the clinical areas. Like all of this is nice. Okay. But once you get through them clinical doors, once you get through the lab doors, it's like, oh, this is real. And we really went into that. I really tapped into my Grey's Anatomy era because I made a scrub room. I made a scrub room to go into the lab just because, you know, a lot of things happen in the scrub rooms of Grey's. So I had to, you know, pay homage. Also, there is a classroom using the high school years board. Baby Derek will teach lectures. I do plan on using the new businesses and hobby lectures. Remember, this has been in effect since January, the middle of January. Tasha and I have been working on this mod since the beginning of January. So girl, there's been stuff in action before stuff was even leaked and teased about businesses and hobbies. I'm pretty sure some of those elements like I said, we're going to utilize them. There's definitely like, she can go to like doggy daycares, or she can go to like, you know, doggy centers. Now there's so many possibilities with businesses and hobbies where she can go and learn dog training. We can go anywhere. But like I said, a lot of this stuff has been tailored for this, and we're picking pieces that's going to work and things like that. So like I said, baby Derek will be doing lectures. That's going to be another part of the curriculum, making sure they don't miss class, things like that. As much as they're going to be doing clinicals and like hands-on approach and lab work, they're also going to be in lectures and learning from the books and things like that. So a classroom was vital, and I'm so happy. This is when I was happy that I actually built the high school, because I knew what pieces I wanted to use. Like I knew how I wanted this all to flow. It just came down to the matter of, you know, what was going to work. Because at the end of the day, this is not a high school. So I didn't want all of the cute little inviting, colorful posters. I wanted the straight intuitiveness. And like, I wanted it to be like, you know, this is a vet school. You're here to learn this and that. And I also wanted it to look nice. So sometimes I like these little posters from Endgame. They just didn't match the vibe. And we just had to switch it up a little bit. So that was a huge part of this. I cannot wait for y'all to see the freaking lab, because it's literally my favorite part. I think the lab is my favorite part of the entire build. So the first floor has the lobby, as you see. On the other side was kind of like that library debate area. That's where there's going to be additional computers and books and stuff like that for them to have another place to study, as well as the debate room, which is going to be a huge part of their curriculum, like I said. And then here we're making the classroom, which is another huge part where they'll have all of their like daily lectures and things like that. And then the one thing that's down here is the lab. And that's what you see right here. This is the scrub room. We are getting into this. Like, there was a lot of detail that went into this, but I didn't want to go crazy because it's such a huge build. But I couldn't help myself. I say I didn't want to go crazy, and then you're about to see this lab, and it's very, very detailed. But it's just because I really wanted to pay respects. Like, at the end of the day, I love Barbie Legacy right now. Like, I absolutely love it. And I love how much time I'm investing into it, because that makes me fall in love with the series even more. And you guys love Barbie too. So that just like icing on the cake. So I had to go all out for the build. Like, honestly, Tasha's doing her big one. She's the brains of the operation. And I'm just doing all of this beauty stuff. But like, Tasha's going all out. We had to too. So I think I stayed up. I don't even want to tell y'all how long I stayed up doing this build, because I had to finish this in like a night. I literally had a deadline I needed to meet, so I had to finish this in a night. And I think I was building for like 10 hours straight in this build. And I started at like 3 a.m. I don't think I went to bed till around 11 a.m. I want to say. Is that right? Something around that time, girl. I don't know. It was a long time. I started at like 3 a.m. I don't think I went to bed till like 11. I want to say. And then woke up and then had more work to do and pack, and it was crazy. It was crazy. It still is crazy. It's still part of my life right now. But again, I know it's temporary. I am very, very blessed and grateful and humble, and I'm so very, very thankful. Not just for like just being able to do this, because just a couple years ago I was like not able to do any of this. Like when we did want to move a couple years ago, I was in the hospital. So I'm very grateful that I am able to do this now. But it has been taxing for sure. Anyway, we're not gonna keep talking about it. I'm sorry. Why am I trying to put sugar in this place? Anyway, I was going through all of my CC trying to find anything to make this look like a lab. Like, my goal was to make this look like a washroom, my Grey's Anatomy. Like, I was looking through pictures. Like, I know my Google was like, what in the world is she doing? Like, I was looking up inside of labs, surgical rooms, all kinds of stuff just to get the details right and like how I wanted it to be. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So now you see we're going through and we're filling up the lab. This is like that wall of medicine that I've seen in so many like labs and when doing like pharmaceuticals and things like that. So I filled this with so many like different bottles, pill bottles, lotion bottles, ointment bottles. I did find some like vet stuff that I downloaded. Like right there, those are ordinary face things, but they look like medical bottles. Like, again, that's ordinary toner, like the facial brand, but it works. Like, look how good this works. It looks really, really good. And then we have like pill bottles up there and stuff. We got like these little ointments and stuff. Like, girl, this looks good. I can't even lie. I don't even care that it's like face cream and hand cream and deodorants, but it looks freaking amazing. It looks so good. So this build definitely 100% will be on my Patreon, because I expect this to be like something huge that a lot of people use if they're trying to do the same route. A lot of people say that they like, oh Dee, like you're doing this and I'm trying to do it in my game and like you've inspired me, and this is what this build is for. I wanted this build to be good. So if you guys was to download it on Patreon, you could just come in and do the exact same thing that I'm doing and literally just have a good time with it. If you don't use the mod that Tasha is creating, you can definitely use this with the new Sims 4 businesses and hobbies. And instead of the whiteboard that's in there from high school years, replace it with the one from businesses and hobbies. And your school can be a business. Like literally you can set it to teenagers and they can come in and they can learn veterinary medicine. Like you can have your sim be the best at medicine and they can run this vet school program and do the exact same thing that I'm doing. And I think that's the most amazing part about all of it, is that it's not going to be as customized as it is the one that Tasha's creating for our series, but you can still do it. So I feel like this build is going to be very huge. And again, it will be on my Patreon this month, really soon before I move. So definitely look for it in the coming weeks. I just had to get this out and done. I am using SYB's veterinary stations. Like they had like a CC pack where they basically like redid all of the lab things. So these are the stations where your Sims make the veterinary surgical items as well as the treats and stuff. So this is that lab. It's just they've been recolored to look more lab like. And then we move on to the clinical area upstairs. But like I said, all of this was a huge build. Absolutely love how this lab turned out because I feel like it looks so legit. It looks so real. And I feel like you could really go in this lab and make some work. Like you can really do your big one in here. And then upstairs, you'll see the clinicals. There's clinicals for the surgical machine. And then there's also a clinicals for the exam room. So there's going to be one surgical machine in there. It honestly looks quite similar to the lab. And then you'll also see the clinical for the exam room that has 2 exam tables in it. And it's honestly just for the Sims to learn those skills without being on a vet lot, without having and owning a veterinary office yet, if that makes sense. So that's the purpose of the mod. The purpose for Blaire is for her to learn beforehand. We want her to learn all of this before she opens her thing. I just feel like it was more realistic in the way. And then this is just how our Barbie legacy had to go because of how Generation 2 went. You know, Bella Eve had Blaire very late in her series. So I don't know. I just feel like going in the route of education, I feel like she has a lot of money. We need to like blow her money because y'all know I don't like having my Sims have a lot of money. Honestly, Blaire's not going to have to worry about money in this generation. So I wanted to have a different task. If money wasn't our main focus, you know, if she didn't have to grind for money because she's coming from a lot of money, I wanted her to have to grind for something. And she's definitely going to grind for knowledge and skill. And also getting that 5-star vet clinic is not an easy task either. So that's going to be a grind as well. So we always want longevity. And if she doesn't have the longevity of trying to have money, then we needed it from somewhere else, which is why I wanted to do this whole like education process from the beginning, because you know, you got to keep it interesting. I don't want just, you know, her to have money and then we just start up a vet clinic. I think that's kind of boring. And I don't think I would have stayed with it. Like I'm really loving this series and I really wanted to continue. I really want to finish Barbie Legacy. Like I want to do all 10 generations, even though Generation 4, we're not staying with the generation that is provided with Generation 4, which I think is like Mermaid Barbie or something like that. We're definitely coming up with our own Generation 4, which is going to be even more exciting. You guys have had so many ideas about that, especially with the new pack. Like Generation 4 Barbie should run a nightclub or something like that. We don't know how that's going to go. And I think we'll get a better feel of that once we've, you know, dabbled into Generation 3 and we see Blaire grow up and have an heir and all that kind of stuff. So right now we're just focusing on this. And like I said, I'm absolutely loving this so freaking much. Let me talk a little bit about the second floor. So second floor is the clinical areas. As you can see, that elevator is there to the left. This is where they'll come up here and they will learn about the surgical side, like how to do surgeries and the anatomy of animals and all that kind of stuff. They'll learn that in this clinical. Right next door to this is the exam room. And then in the middle of this, splitting the building that has that huge like glassed off area that kind of like overhangs the front of the building, is the cafeteria. So we're going to be using the cafeteria tables. I think I'm using the ones from Discover University. And then we have like that huge area that's hanging off the front of the building that's surrounded by windows, because this place is built in Del Sol Valley. So we had to definitely admire the views. Like I said, everything in this has purpose. Baby Derek is I feel like he would purposely pick this area. I feel like his clinic and his school would be clean. It would be upscale. That's just Baby Derek. Y'all know my man did not play up with Zerts. He was very clean. He was very much a neat freak. Maybe you can say it was a little, you know, probably a little too much, but that's just how it was. So I wanted all of this to have purpose. I wanted all of this to make sense. I wanted to admire the views. I wanted it to be luxurious, but I also wanted it to be educational and things like that. So there's a lot of things that went into this, but I absolutely love how it all came together. I absolutely love it so much. So as you can see, a little bit of that little hang off area that I'm talking about is the that's where we're gonna have like the cafeteria area. So There's going to be a cafeteria area. Next to that is more of a chill out spot. So they have like a lounge, if you'll say, a place where they can come and relax. You know, there's a TV up there. There's board games up there, card tables, stereos, books, anything that, you know, to like let loose a little bit. Say you want a change of scenery. There's a lounge here as well. They have like PlayStation 5s in there, beanbag chairs, like super comfy, like cute little neon signs and stuff like that. It all works. It all works. Right now, we're just trying to find little filler pieces to kind of take up space. Honestly, that was one of my biggest tasks because I did want this to be very educational and stuff, but there was a lot of blank walls. At the end of the day, there was a lot of blank walls. So trying to find the right posters and like wall art to like fill in those spaces definitely was a task, but we ended up, we ended up making it work. Ended up coming together. You're gonna see like a lot of whiteboards and bulletin board type things around. I just found that to be more like realistic and school like some of the whiteboards on wheels where you could just move them around a little bit. So there's just things like this that you'll see around that just kind of works. Honestly, it just made sense. So yeah, moving on into the cafeteria area. Like I said, this is another area that you'll begin to see the original palette come back. So that was huge too. Like bringing back the palette. Like I said, when you cross those lines, when it's time to get into the business, let's get down some business. No, but when you started seeing the education portion, you was like, oh, okay, this is real. This is a real lab. This is real clinical. Like, yes. And then we get back to the stylistic part of it. But we go with these nice glass tables to kind of match what we got going on. And of course the orange is back and it just looks so freaking good. I just could see like Sims just hanging out here, just eating, taking a little break, you know, grabbing them a little coffee or whatever and just like vibing out. I feel like this program is going to be really stressful because like we're not playing where we're like, when creating this, we're not playing when it comes to you need to do your part. Like you need to stay on top of your assignments. There's not just going to be one, you know, like it is going to be it's going to be very, very hard. And that's what I wanted. And I told Tasha that, like, I wanted it to be like, you can't just pay to come here. You got to put in the hard work too. If you don't have the grades and the skill and the determination, you don't need to be here. Like, yeah, it's nice because it's upscale and it's luxurious and you got all these beautiful amenities. But if you don't have the mindset and the grind, you know, you're not hungry for this, you don't need to be here, sis. You really don't. So yes, this is the eating area. Oh, I did change it to the high school years one. I thought I changed it to the Discovery University one. I don't know. I guess I went with that one because it kind of fit in the theme a little bit better. So we'd go with the high school one at the end. I also love that it's like open and you can kind of see stuff like that. But here's this little lounge area that I was talking about. Like I said, they have their TV. They have this whole like little unit. We used the little unit pieces from Dream Home Decorator. And y'all know that's my new favorite TV with the little RGB in the back because that's how my TV looks. That's how a lot of people's TV looks. Look, it's good. It's fun. Now, I will say when I was playtesting everything, because I have playtested this entire build, the couches that you see there do not work. I don't know why they don't work, but they just didn't work. So I had to change them out for a different couch. But I love this because I love that little rounded corner to the back. But yeah, we do end up changing it. So I don't know if I changed it in the screenshots, but I know in the original build that you'll receive on Patreon, it's not there. Cause like I said, play tested everything that I physically could. So yes, I definitely wanted a chill spot because like I said, at the end of the day, they're going to be working hard. So they need a little time to relax and things like that. So that was where this room came in for sure. I think I put a card table in here. I think I put some bookcases, beanbag chairs. As you can see, they have like a little balcony right behind the cafeteria area. So they can go and hang out there, enjoy the views. I really wish that was more of a thing in Sims. Like your Sims can enjoy those views. You know, like I wish there was like a Vista Point type of thing you can put out and like your Sims can go out there and just be like, oh, wow, this is nice. Because the views in Delta Valley is crazy. But yeah, we just put up some posters. We put up a couple of like little fun things. Of course, it got to go with the theme. Everything is going to be clean. We don't have laundry here. That was a huge question with when we were building on stream. Is this going to have laundry? The answer is no. I do not want that. I do not want to have to deal with laundry on a lot with like 5 teenagers. No, I don't want to deal with this. So that's not something we do here. Also, I think I am going to turn off the dust thing with this because this is again going to be a Baby Derek establishment. It's going to be the finest of the finest when it comes to cleanliness. And that's not something else I want to worry about either. So yes. I think we're about to move. The last office that is here, or the last room that is on the 2nd floor, is Baby Derek's office. I don't know if there is like any kind of interaction that the kids go to meet Baby Derek in his office. Like, I don't know if Tasha has like scripted something, like if they have like, if he has office hours or anything. Actually, let me take that back. I think that he does have office hours. I think he does. But he does have an office because I think he does work on his office computer as well. So his office is on this level as well. And again, it's very Baby Derek. There is the James family green in there. Every time we with the James family, there's always like this green vibe, this color that comes back. I don't know what it is, but it just fits them. And it started with Derek, child. So his office definitely have those green elements. I think I end up putting like a nice little fish tank in there. And that is the school building. So maybe my high school was still one of the biggest builds. But I just feel like, I don't know how much, to this day, I still don't know how many hours I spent on the school. But I know it took me a long time. But I don't know. Now that I see this, I do think the school is definitely a bit, I mean, at the end of the day, the school was a 64 by 64. So yeah, I can definitely understand it, you know, being more. So that makes sense. But that is pretty much it. Y'all, cannot believe I talked the entirety of this video. I didn't plan on it, but girl, here we are. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are excited for Generation 3 of Blaire, Generation 3 of Barbie Legacy Challenge. Let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking about, like how you're feeling, any tips, suggestions, mods, anything like that. Definitely let me know. And yeah, thank y'all so much for vibing with me this whole video. I can't believe I talked through this video this long, but yes, there are screenshots at the end so you can see everything in its entirety. I think I only show you a variation of the dorms because they are copy paste. They won't be like that when we start the series, but when I was making this, I did one dorm, copied them 5 times, and then we're going to go through and personalize them because we have made the teenagers that's going to be going to this university. We did that on stream and you will meet them all in the series. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. Thank y'all for sticking with me and vibing with me through this rough time. I appreciate it so much. There is the housewarming registry is in the description down below. So if you want to check that out, that's where you can do so. And yeah, thank y'all so much for all of the love and energy. And I will see y'all in the next one. Remember to stay beautiful, stay lovely, stay in the house, and have a grand day. Bye, guys.